My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. What I have here is the NatureHike Village 4-person tent. And in this episode, I'm going to show you all how to set this up. I'm going to show you all the easy way to set this up. In my preview concerning this tent, I mentioned a set of steps that you need to follow to set up this tent the easy way. With that being said though, I understand that there's a difference between me saying something and me showing you something. So, in this episode, I will show you all the easy way to set up this tent. Do know this, folks, the setup process that I'm about to show you all with this tent applies to every version of the Village, including the 8-person versions. This is the 4-person, it's more of a square tent. The 8-person is more of a rectangle-shaped tent. Ultimately, the frame structure is the same. The setup process is virtually the same. So what you see in this episode will apply to the larger versions of this tent. The first thing that I recommend that you do is to put down a ground sheet. This is to protect the bottom of the tent from anything that may be on the ground that could puncture it or cut a hole in it. These Village tents are not cheap, so why not protect your investment? So let's go ahead, put down a ground sheet. Do know that NatureHike does not make a specific ground sheet for these tents, so you will have to find something that works for you. For myself, I've repurposed other ground sheets to work for this application. If you need to, you can put together 2 or 3 ground sheets, or even use a tarp as a ground sheet. With your ground sheet on the ground, it is time to separate the components. Go ahead and bring your tent over to the center of your ground sheet. Here we have the fly. And here we have the tent inner with the pole structure. In this bag here, we have tent stakes and additional guy lines. And in this bag, we have additional tent poles. These are for the awning. So we have the tent inner here that has an internal frame structure. On one side, you will feel that there's a hub. And on the other side, you have individual legs. From here, we need to separate those legs. Now, my friends, we need to raise this tent up. Just like so. From this point here, we need to extend every single one of these legs and lock them into place. At the top here, we have this hub with a red button. When you push this red button, it allows you to telescope these legs. Go ahead and telescope each leg until they lock into place. Now comes the part that most people have trouble with. I'm going to show you all how to do this nice and easy. You can see up here at the top, we have this frame bar. This frame bar telescopes and locks into place. Unfortunately, it is very high up and it's hard to get to. As you stretch this bar, it pulls this material taut, meaning that you really have to lean over to spread it apart. Unless you're like 7.5 foot tall, this is going to be extraordinarily difficult. This is the easy solution that I've come up with. The tent inner connects to the pole structure here with these clips. On one side, go ahead and disconnect those clips. That should be enough, folks. From here, go ahead and telescope that top bar. Once you have that done, go ahead and reconnect the body. From here, I recommend that you get your tent stakes and go ahead and stake out the body. That way it is extra secure. For this, you will need 4 tent stakes, 1 for each corner. Now everyone, we need to put the fly on the tent and secure it into place. This is not the easiest process for multiple reasons. 1, the fly is gigantic. 2, the tent is gigantic. So this can take some work. What I recommend that you do here is find the door side that has the awning and get that side basically orientated the right way. That way when we throw this over the tent, the awning is at the front and the window vent is at the back. If you don't get this right, don't worry. All you have to do is just rotate it once it's on there. It's no big deal. So here we have it. We have the back window, the vent, and the awning is at the front. So let's get this on top of this tent. As you can see there, I just kind of wadded it up and threw it over the top of the tent. I ended up doing an okay job with getting the fly orientated the right way. The awning is here, but it actually needs to go over here. So let's just go ahead and rotate this. Now that I have the fly into place, all I need to do is clip it into place. At the bottom of the fly and also at the bottom of the tent, we have buckles. So go ahead and connect those in each of the corners. The most complicated aspects to the setup process have been completed. For the most part, this tent is now set up. You can go ahead and stake out the guidelines if you want to. You can open up the windows if you want to. For this episode, I'm not going to focus on these two. That's self-explanatory. Now everyone, let's focus on this gigantic awning that comes with this tent. It actually comes in 2 stages, the full length and a half length. The tent comes with 1 set of poles that allow you to set this up with the shortest length. So if you want to set this up with the full length, you will need an extra set of poles. Luckily, I have those on hand, and I'll talk about those in just a minute. For now, let's go ahead and let's open up this pole bag, and let's put these poles together. With these poles, they come in 6 sections. You have 2 here that are open-ended, you have 2 here with the metal studs up at the top, and you have 2 here with the feet at the bottom. Taking 1 from each stack allows you to put together each pole. Begin with a pole that has a foot on the bottom, then grab one of the open-ended pieces and put them together. Then grab one that has the metal stud up at the top and put it together. And that is how you put the poles together. To make this process nice and simple, go ahead and lay out the awning just like so. Then go over to the door and unzip both sides. When you're looking at the front of the tent here, this is awning number 1, this is awning number 2. We have this flap. Underneath that flap is a zipper, which allows you to unzip awning number 2. Also, underneath this flap, you will find a metal piece of hardware with a hole in it. This is for the metal stud on this pole. If you were to set up this tent with only the first stage of the awning, you would take your pole, you would slide it through that metal piece of hardware, and from here you would stake it out at both sides. But since we want to do the entire awning, let's don't use these poles at this section. Let's use them at the end. We want the middle of the awning to be even taller than the end of the awning. So let's take these poles, put them on the ground, and let's go over here and let's grab these. These are green elephant poles, and they have a metal stud up at the top and a telescope. And that right there is plenty long for our awning. That is pole number 1. And this is pole number 2. Now let's attach this to that center line with those metal pieces of hardware. Before we attach those, we will need 2 tent stakes. Take your 2 tent stakes, put them in your pocket. You'll be coming back to these in just a minute. Go ahead and attach the poles, the green elephant poles, to that piece of metal hardware. Don't worry if these poles fall over. that's okay. If you angle your green elephant poles underneath your awning like this, there's less of a tendency for them to fall over. Now everyone, take the smaller poles that come with the tent, and guess what? You have a piece of metal hardware at these ends too, one on each side. So go ahead, take the pole end and put it through that piece of metal hardware, and go ahead and attach a guy line to that hardware too. That way, you can stand this up and also stake this out. So grab one of your tent stakes and stake out this awning. Yes, this does not look good, so go ahead and make all the corrections that you need to. Stand your poles up straight. And make any adjustments that you need to the guy lines. That looks a whole lot better. But you can see here that we have this sag in the center. I will show you all how to fix that. This tent comes with 2 additional guy lines that will work perfectly with those taller elephant poles. So go ahead and separate those lines and attach one line to the top of each pole and then stake it out. I personally like to use slip knots. Slide it right over the post, tighten it, and then stake it out. That makes everything super, super simple. The slip knot is one of the most important knots to learn when you're going into the outdoors. There's no knot that is going to benefit you more than this here. Over the post, now stake it out. Over the post, now stake it out. Now everyone, make your final adjustments. And just like that, my friends, the village tent has been set up. Again, this video will assist you with all versions of this shelter, the 4-person all the way up to the 8-person. This setup process is not very complicated, but it is time consuming, especially if you're doing it by yourself, especially if you're setting up the full awning system. Luckily, the breakdown process is even simpler than the setup process, so it may take you 20 minutes to set this up fully, but you can break this down in less than 10. That process is very easy. Basically, reverse everything that you've done. Again, it's very, very simple. In this episode, I have shown you all how to set this tent up, not only the right way, but also the easy way, the quick way. That top spreader bar was giving a lot of people a lot of problems. So there you go, folks. That is how you do it, nice and easy. Hopefully this episode addresses all of your questions. If not, feel free to email me. Also, you can send me a message on Facebook. I do not respond to direct messages on Twitter or Instagram. So email and Facebook, that's it. So again, if you have a question, feel free to write me. I'm happy to help you out. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, please hit the thumbs up. It's a great way to support the channel. Everyone, take care, be well, strength and honor. Bye for now.